Hey guys, welcome back. Got another video for you today, something a little bit different. What I want to do is I want to talk to you about, exercise and pregnancy, which some of you viewing this will probably go, well, you don't have the right hardware to really be an expert in pregnancy, and I'm not claiming to be an expert. I just want to share my experiences as a trainer, but also I realized, like I've said, I don't have the right hardware, so I've got a special guest that I'm just gonna invite over, and we're just going to have a bit of a discussion about pregnancy and her experience, and that special guest is my wife, so come on over.
Hi everyone.
So yeah, what we're going to do is just have a little bit of a conversation about her experience while being pregnant, and then for me as a trainer but also as a father to be just with all the information out there, just trying to decipher it all. And what we're going to share is our opinion. It's not rock solid advice. It's not 100% guaranteed to be the best thing for you. So my advice is make sure you know yourself. Make sure you're talking to your health professionals. And if you've got a personal trainer, talk to your personal trainer to find out exactly what's going to be the best for you. Let's get into it. When you found out that you were pregnant, did you find that your exercise habits changed much?
Not really, to be honest. You always said it's ideally best to be regularly active prior to falling pregnant because of how much it helps throughout the pregnancy and even into the postpartum recovery period, which, probably I didn't realize, so probably a lot of people don't. If I'm being completely honest, maybe walking and stretching I added in more, but that's about it.
Okay.
But I have a question for you though.
What's your question?
If you didn't have all of this home setup
Yeah.
for the gym, what's a piece of equipment you'd recommend for me and other pregnant women that don't have access to something like this?
Probably the biggest piece of equipment I would say you need is what you're sitting on right now, a fit ball. You guys know that if you've been following me for a while, I've done a few videos where I've done workouts using the fit ball. So obviously it's a really versatile piece of equipment, and coming into pregnancy as well, there are just so many uses for it, and especially when you're getting towards that third trimester, the end of the pregnancy, it just really, really helps to get baby into the correct position. So like I said, the fit ball obviously comes in really, really handy. How helpful have you found it?
Very. I know you went out and bought this one for me when we found out, and I've probably purposefully used it 3 to 4 times a week, but even incidentally be doing something and it would just be in the house upstairs, and I'll come and sit on it and do a few rolls and stretch my back a bit. I used to do it before I went for a shift for work, so yeah, I found it's really relaxing.
Excellent. So yeah, for all of you out there, if you're wondering, I don't have much equipment, I don't know what I should get, I would suggest, Fitball, make that your priority. Next question that I've got for you: as your pregnancy progressed, did you find that we were changing the way we were training, like randomly, or did it feel like it was coinciding with the different trimesters that you were entering?
I felt for the most part like it coincided with the trimesters.
Okay.
There were a few things where we cut some stuff out just because of how it felt for me, but for the most part in the first trimester we continued on training as we were, trying to still increase reps or weight as we got to that stage. Not a lot changed in that first trimester. The second one was more about keeping things the same, not trying to progress anymore, just going along at whatever we'd gotten to by that stage and cutting out a few movements that were maybe recommended pregnant women don't do or positions we don't get into. And then as the end of the second trimester came and we got into the third, it's changed to we're not doing heavy weights anymore, we're doing a lot more stuff for stretching and flexibility and core strength and just strengthening the pelvic floor as well, helping prepare for a quick or easy labor with the best possible outcomes for mum and bub.
That's the thing, like For you out there, you might find that things will progress and change at a different rate, and that's fine. There's no one size fits all when it comes to training and pregnancy. There are definitely guidelines that should be followed, and I recommend that you do follow them. But aside from that, listen to your body. It's really important that you do know your body, and if you feel that you need to make a change, you need to make modifications, do that. Don't just keep on believing that you have to be going at 100% all the time. Right at the start, you mentioned something about being more intentional with your walking and stretching. Why did you feel that for you was important to do?
But I've never been someone who exercises, 6 days a week for hours at a time, and I wanted to be a little more active, and I guess knowing that I was pregnant gave me that extra push to just go out and do something on days where I previously probably wouldn't have. And walking is a fairly, simple thing. You don't need equipment, you don't have to go far, you can do it at your own pace, and I think I found it really beneficial.
Okay. The thing with walking also is anyone can do it anywhere at any time. Now, in regards to any time, don't do it in the middle of the day when it's the hottest, because as your body is changing, the body temperature changes, the energy requirement changes. So try and do it at a time when it's the most comfortable for you.
And you mentioned stretching, which I didn't touch on. I also really just needed to do that. I don't stretch enough prior to falling pregnant, so I've really needed to start doing it now because I want the best possible outcome, and it's really helped with my mobility, because during that second trimester when things start to feel a bit more heavy, you notice the weight changes in distribution, and stretching has really helped.
The weight distribution changes and things like that. You said that you noticed that more in the second trimester. I know that we did some taping of your belly. How helpful did you find that?
That was extremely helpful. I was getting that pelvic girdle pain which started second trimester, and I wasn't sure that I'd be able to keep walking and working if it didn't go away. So you looked at ways to tape pregnant bellies for support, because I tried a band and it was too hot and it kept rolling and it just wasn't working for me. So the tape, as soon as the tape went on, the pain went away pretty much. So it's been very helpful. I would recommend it.
Yeah, so it's about understanding the principles of the taping and how to apply the tape. So if you are unsure, go and see a professional who can at least give you some guidance on how to tape and tape effectively, so that we can actually reap the benefits of it. Another thing that we kept on doing, that, and you mentioned it previously, was strength training. I do believe strength training is important through all stages of pregnancy. Now, that's not necessarily meaning that you're out competing in CrossFit and you're doing heavy weights and things like that. If that's something that you're already doing and your body's allowing you to continue to do that, that's great for you. But if you're somebody who hasn't been doing that, don't feel pressured by what you see on social media and things like that to feel that you have to go and be deadlifting and doing heavy squats and things like that. Do what is best for you and your body. And with the strength training, like we've said, you will need to make some adaptations and some modifications to what you're doing. We like to focus on progressive overload, but as the pregnancy progressed, we actually changed how we did the progressive overload. So it wasn't progressive overload by adding more weight. It may have been adding a little bit more time, doing maybe 1 or 2 more reps, but not every week adding more reps, just trying to build a good base so that way mum and bub can be healthy throughout pregnancy, but just as important as what happens after. So this whole pregnancy training, exercise, movement, mobility, all that sort of stuff is not just for the pregnancy now, it's for when Bubby's out and mum wants to be active and wants to be able to run around and play with Bub. So did you find that, obviously we've been married for a little while and we've been training together for even longer. Did you find that me knowing your training history and your injury history actually helped you understand why your body was doing some of the things that it was doing and help to prevent, I guess, further stress and damage to your body.
Yeah, I think that's a really important part in it. It's made me feel quite comfortable. You know, we've been training for years, and then we've been married for a few, and I don't have to make a big deal and explain, oh, I can't do that because of this, I can't do that because of this injury. You just already know it. So I think it is a really important thing to say if you haven't known your trainer for that long.
100%, and that even applies to people who aren't pregnant. Like, we as trainers, our job, our role is to help you achieve your goals, but we can't actually do that unless you give us all the information about your training history, your injury history, because we want you to succeed. That's what's really important to us. Do you have any other thoughts that you wanna share with the audience? Because you are the pregnant one. You know and feel and understand a lot better than I ever can, or any other, especially male trainer, can understand what a pregnant female client is experiencing.
Well, I'll start by saying I think I've done a lot more than I thought was possible prior to being pregnant. I'll explain that. The training in the first trimester, going on pretty much like you're not even pregnant, I didn't think that was possible. Not that I'm particularly strenuous, or, you know, like I said before, I don't train 6 days a week. But I was actually quite amazed with what the body can do. Like, you're growing a person, but you just go on and strength train like you were before, and provided that your doctor has said that's fine, then, you know, it's not an issue. The body can handle it, and I think it's a really good, healthy activity for doing while you are pregnant, because I think there's health benefits throughout all of the hormone changes and releases and everything. It's just getting your body into habits for later and teaching your kid healthy things from when they're still growing. I guess exercise to what you feel is right for you and what your healthcare team has said is okay for you to do. That will be different for everyone. I've been very fortunate. I've really only suffered with the pelvic pain, which has mostly been fixed by the taping that we talked about earlier. So I've been able to go on fairly regularly like I was prior to becoming pregnant. And don't be afraid to rest up when you need to. That's important. You do get tired. Stay safe and stay hydrated.
100%, 100% on all of that. I just want to say to finish up that, look, like I said at the start, this was our opinions and our experience going through this for the first time. And look, some of you might be able to relate to this, some of you may not, and that's fine. The last thing I want to say is, remember that each of you who fall pregnant are going to have a different experience to the next person. Don't judge yourself and don't judge your experience based off what you see on any social media platforms, on anyone who just says, oh, well, I was this many weeks pregnant and I'm still going for runs, I'm still running marathons, I'm still lifting heavy weights, and you feel, I'm not able to do that, and then you feel less than. Like, don't let your self-worth and all of that be determined by other people and what they're able to do. Everyone will have a different experience, everyone will have a different journey, and the most important thing is your health, your safety, your well-being, so that way you can become the best mother for the human being that you are growing inside of you, which is a pretty incredible thing that your bodies can do. So yeah, that's it for us, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on the next video. See ya.